Welcome to another episode of Let Us Cast. I am Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce.
Hey, you look like a shark.
Yeah.
What happened? Why you shark?
Fucking COVID.
Look what it does to you, man. Fevers, runny nose, headaches, turn into a shark. CDC didn't tell you that one, did they, America?
Oh, dude, if I got the vaccine and the worst part about it was I became like King Shark, I'd be like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you became a shark because of COVID? Like you said, I think I'd be okay with that. I think I'd be like trying to catch. Yeah.
I mean, like, wait, an actual like shark swimming in the ocean, or
yeah,
like
not like King Shark, like an actual shark. I think, like you said, I'd be okay with that. I think I'd be actively trying to get COVID.
I don't think I'd be okay with that because I can barely swim as it is.
But as a shark, you could presumably, unless you're like the one, you're the outcast shark that can't swim. Like, dang it!
Yeah.
I hate my life and my existence. I'm a running joke. Except I'm not running. I can barely swim.
I'm the shark that's too stupid for its own good.
We should have blown you up with a CO2 canister. Oh man. But yeah, like honestly, I think I'd be going out there being like, cough on me, sneeze on me. I want to be a shark.
Wait, who's to say that would be guaranteed anyways, man? Like, suppose somebody like coughed on you and it's just like, congratulations,
and I die instead.
You're a snail boy now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if it's different like metamorphoses and stuff, that'd be interesting.
Oh yeah.
That's how mutants happen, dude. That's how the X-Men happen.
Dude.
Maybe.
Imagine.
We don't know where this is going.
No, dude, imagine if we got the vaccine and we became Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
How dope would that be,
Secret of the
man?
ooze from your nose. The nose ooze.
Secret of the vaccines.
Oh, man. That would be pretty awesome, though.
You'd have to change the song around a little bit. Like, Splinter taught them to be vaccinated teens. I like it. Like, just be swinging around with either swords or a fucking bow staff. Like, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I mean, it would suck like living in the sewers, but hey, I've never been in the sewers around here, but I mean, fucking Donatello made it work. I guess I could.
Imagine if all of it, like, if that was the result, and everybody who got vaccinated turned into a Ninja Turtle, and it was just like a society of Ninja Turtles.
There was like there's just one person left on Earth that just get transformed to Casey Jones.
Yeah, like why did I get Casey Jones, man? You got the Johnson and Johnson.
You did your own research.
Oh man! Did you hear? Have you watched? I don't know if you're a fan of Dave Chappelle or not, but did you watch his most recent special, The Closer?
I did not, man. Like I really haven't watched like any stand up in I don't know how long. Like the last one I watched was oh god, I think I was like driving up to like Pawtucket like a couple of weeks ago, and just on the way there, I was like, yeah, fuck it, you know what? I'll throw YouTube on my phone and fucking just listen to Christopher Titus on the way up.
Right on.
Which Love Is Evil and Norman Rockwell Is Bleeding are fucking masterpieces.
I actually I didn't watch it. I listened to like an audio only version of it where someone was like reacting to it. I didn't realize it's on Netflix and I could just watch it. So I'm gonna try to go watch it, like the actual special. But it's hilarious, dude. He talks about getting the vaccine and stuff like that, and actually he got COVID and he talks about that, and it's pretty controversial some of the stuff, but well, a lot of the stuff. But it's hilarious though.
Like I've heard there's like anti-trans jokes in there and whatnot that like people are up in arms about it too. I'm just like,
if you take them as being anti-trans, but they're really not. I think people are just missing his point, honestly. Yeah.
I think so too. It's like I think it may be one of those things where like he's trying to make a point, but it's just not like maybe drawn out enough.
Yeah. He's kind of like, I wouldn't even say you have to think about it, but like if you don't put any effort into it at all, like thinking about what he's actually saying, then if you just listen to what he says, you're just gonna, like, depending on who you are, you'll just instantly get butthurt by it and be like, oh, he's insulting trans people. But like, no, like listen to what the actual point that he's making is, and he's not at all.
I mean, somebody also brought up the point, like Twitter's kind of the same way in the sense of like, the only reason I know about this I follow Wolfgang Van Halen on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Dude, just watching him go after trolls, like, oh my god, dude, it's like playoff hockey. I love it. Somebody posted up a tweet. Being on Twitter is like this: me tweeting out, "I love pancakes." Someone else, so you hate waffles?
Yes.
Like, no, that's a different conversation.
Yes.
I made no mention of waffles. I'm saying I like pancakes.
Exactly. But that's the thing, man. You got to be and that's kind of what his point is like you have to be so careful about what you say that you're going to offend somebody, where like, you know, just because I express interest, like you said, in pancakes, it does not mean that I hate waffles. It just means I like pancakes. So like, relax. Calm down, folks.
And like, I'm of kind of like two minds about it. Like, you know, one part is like, I agree with Carlin that like the point of comedy is to find the line and deliberately cross it. You get that reaction.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of me is like, you got to make that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like explain kind of like what, you know, I get the whole thing like, oh, if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. It's like, well, then go back and rewrite the fucking joke.
Yeah. You know who struggled with that too in his career was one of my favorites, Bill Hicks. A lot of people, he would deliver jokes and it would just, like right over people's heads.
Yeah.
But he was before his time, I guess. But like, he was hilarious. Like, and especially like if you listen to what he was saying, like the underpinnings of what he's saying, and what's crazy about it too is some of it has like usefulness to it too. Like he very much is like. He kind of like is not really preaching, but like I guess like trying to teach you to be more like loving towards people and understanding of other people by showing how ridiculous we are by not being understanding of people. And like one of my favorite jokes of his actually is about he talks about how he did a joke. He used to do this joke about how Christians wear crosses around their neck. Do you really think that when Jesus comes back from the dead, he's going to want to see a cross? I bet he's up in heaven right now being like, no, Dad, I'm not going back. Look at them. Like, imagine like, walking up to Jackie Onassis with a rifle pen and being like, hey, thinking of John, like, no. And so like he said, I made that joke down in Alabama or somewhere. And these two guys came up to me after the show and they're like, hey, Mr. Comedian, come here. And he's like, obviously not physics majors, come here. And he's like, hey, we didn't like what you said about Jesus in our religion. And he goes, oh, well, forgive me.
See, that's kind of the thing too. Like if you're a damn good comedian, like you can point out like those flaws. Like
yeah,
I I think the point of a comedian, especially in modern times, is to look at something and just kind of flip it on its side so that we can take a different look at it.
Yes. Really, honestly, the best part of that Chappelle special is the ending, where he talks about Daphne, because that's really the point where, like, if you think that he's being anti-trans, listen to that little bit, and you'll understand exactly that if you're listening to it, with if you're not going into it with the bias of he's just insulting trans people, if you take that away for a second and just listen to what he's saying, you'll understand that he's not attacking trans. He was talking about one of his good friends who was trans, who he had open up for him for a show, and what happened with them and everything, and yeah, if you're paying attention to what he's saying, he does not hate trans people at all, not by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
So
and like that. No, and I mean, like I haven't watched it because there's other shit I've wanted to watch. Like I watched the first episode of the Chucky series. Like all right, good pace. I like this. Kind of gets everything open up, establishing everything fucking nicely done.
I haven't seen that. I was gonna actually watch Halloween Kills last night, but I never got around to it.
Boo.
So I'm hoping tonight that we'll check it out. But if not, maybe tomorrow night or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I saw that a couple nights ago.
I've heard kind of mixed things about it, because I asked you, and because I remember asking you if it was worth watching. You're like, I think so, and I've other people were like, oh, it was so boring or whatever, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Well, here's the thing too. So this is gonna kind of play into something we're gonna talk about later on, but
ooh, segues.
Well, not really. It's just kind of like a soupçon, a teaser of things to come.
I didn't know you were French. Mr. Moss, tu es en retard.
Mais oui, mon frère. Anyways.
Mais oui, what?
I don't know.
Anyway, Halloween Kills.
I don't know. You act like I've taken a French class before. Anyways. So I got out of work earlier that day at about like 10:30ish, and I'll go into this later, but I ended up like sending a text message to my boss just saying like basically I quit and whatnot. And again, we'll go into the details in this in a little bit.
Spoiler alert.
There's a lot that factored into that, but yeah.
Some of which, if you've been listening to this podcast, you already know.
You have known my frustration from if you've cared to listen.
You've been rocking along with us.
Like
pulling your hair out.
And if you're my therapist, congratulations. Your kids can go for their doctorates. Again. Anyways. So I got an invite. Like, hey, like a friend of mine's a manager over at a local cinema, like, well, not local, but it's Middletown, which is like right next to Newport. And she's like, hey, I'm doing an employee screening of Halloween Kills. You want to come? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. So I go there. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I hadn't really like napped at all that day because I was at work at like 3:15 in the morning. So there comes a point in the movie, like I forget what part it was, but I just kind of like zonked out where it felt like 5 minutes, but I might have missed like a good like 20-minute chunk of the movie. I woke up for the ending of it and I was like, okay, I can't.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So you fell asleep during Halloween Kills.
It's not the first movie I've fallen asleep to.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
And
that doesn't bode very well. I mean, like you said, you were kind of like worn out and whatnot, but still, that does not bode well.
I was worn out. B, it's a half-hour drive to the cinema. So
oh, really? I thought Middletown was like 45 minutes from you.
Oh, no. It's like 45 minutes away from you.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways.
Okay.
No, it's 45 minutes away from me. It's 45 minutes away from you, and I think it's like 45 minutes away from Texas.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I think I understand geographically where it is now.
One of these days, I'm going to have you take a geography quiz just to see what happens.
Every map to me is basically just a piece of paper with a circle, and it's just like 45 minutes written in the middle of it. See that? That's Massachusetts. See that? That's Texas. See? 45 minutes all within each other. See that? That's Singapore. 45 minutes.
Hey, look at that. Disneyland's 45 minutes away. How about that shit?
Hell, we could make that a day trip.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, so I was kind of exhausted. I kind of zonked out forever. Like it felt like 5 minutes, but I probably missed like a good like 10 to 20 minutes of it. But
Oh man.
I was like, all right, you know what, man? If you enjoy the Halloween series, like I didn't see the 2018 one. I don't know if it's like streaming right now or
You
what the
didn't?
deal
I
is.
thought we saw that together.
I don't think we did.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I know I saw it with my mom, and I was pretty sure I saw it with you too. And I know I saw it with Liz, but I was pretty sure I saw it with you too.
I'm pretty sure we didn't see it. Like the only movies like recently that you and I've seen together were like Sonic the Hedgehog, Spider-Man, Homecoming. And I think those were like the most recent ones. Like I never saw Halloween with you.
Honestly, I enjoyed the Halloween 2018. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out, man. It's pretty good. They do a nice job of like trying to Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't like the word reboot, but it's a reboot. They do a nice job of rebooting the series, taking it. Basically, they ignore all of the sequels. So basically, only as far as Halloween 2018 is concerned, only Halloween happened, the first one, not even the second one. So that's kind of interesting because up until this point, really, some sequels have acknowledged at least two because it's generally accepted that like 4, 5, and 6 and 7 were kind of garbage. So it's understandable that they don't recognize those, but to be like, forget 2 also is kind of shocking because 2 was not horrible. And 3 gets a bad rap simply because Michael Myers isn't in it. So that's completely unrelated to the whole Michael Myers storyline, but on its own, it's not a bad flick.
Yeah, I think you showed me that one in college. I'm like, all right, yeah. I mean, forget the fact that it has Halloween as the title and whatnot. Like, is it a bad movie on its own? No.
Right.
It's not like where like the first like American Godzilla, like the 1998 Godzilla movie, where it's like we have Godzilla in name and it's a horrible movie.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, the whole idea behind the Halloween movie is that it was going to be like a series of movies, and the first one was going to be like the babysitter murders, and then each subsequent Halloween flick was going to have like a whole new story. But for some reason, people really loved the whole Mike Myers storyline, so they were like, number 2, we're going to do Mike Myers again. And then number 3 came along, and they were like, okay, now for real, we're going to go back to the original idea and not have this one be about Mike Myers. And everyone was like, what happened to Mike Myers? And they were like, well, okay, crap, I guess we're going to go back to Mike Myers for number 4. And they did, and it just got worse and worse and worse as it goes along.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the same thing like what happened with you remember that movie Terrifier that I told you about, right?
Yeah.
So like Terrifier didn't like start off on its own. Like it started off like it was just like a small snippet of like another movie. It was like a couple of short stories and whatnot. And apparently people were like, holy shit, we love this clown character. We want to see more of him. We want to see more of him. So they're like, all right, fuck it. Let's make a whole movie out of it. And, now they got a sequel coming out either later this year or next year or something like that.
Yeah, it keeps getting delayed, which makes sense, but it keeps getting delayed.
I think it has something to do with, like, distribution rights and whatnot. So I'm like, all right, I get it. But as far as I understand, like, the movie is done. Like,
that's what I understand also.
Like, all the effects and whatnot, but it's just distribution.
But yeah, man, I really want to check out Halloween Kills, and you should definitely check out Halloween 2018. It is not a bad sequel by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it was probably the best like Halloween movie since like the first Rob Zombie one.
Oh, see, I didn't like the Rob Zombie series. I watched a little bit of it. I think I watched the first one and maybe a little bit. No, I don't think I watched any of 2, but that was not for me, man.
All right, I didn't watch the second one. I watched the first one. I was like, all right, yeah, this has got Rob Zombie's fingerprints all over this.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
Like, the cinematic look, like cursing like every other word, which I'm like, all right, whatever. And then it's got to involve either somebody as an alcoholic or it's got to involve like rednecks.
Yeah, he's almost like the Stephen King of cinema. Like you could make a drinking game around, like, okay, yep, alcoholic, rednecks, like check. The thing that really pissed me off, and I didn't even see it, but supposedly in the sequel that he did, he actually had Michael Myers speak, and not only that, the one thing he does say is, die! Come on.
Yeah, no.
Come on. And apparently he uses a gun in that movie, too, if I'm not mistaken. technically he uses a gun in like 4 or 5, but not the way you think. He takes a shotgun from a cop and impales him with it.
See, that I'm cool with, because I'm like, all right, that's at least like creative.
And that's up his alley. That's the kind of thing he would do. He's the stabby type. He's not the shooty type, you know?
Yeah.
Some people
even
like
if
long walks on the beach. Mike Myers likes stabbing. That's just how he
Yeah.
is.
I mean, even if it was like a situation where, like, let's say he like took a pistol away from somebody, like he doesn't shoot the pistol, but he just pistol whips the fuck out of them until they're dead.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like that is something I think Michael Myers would do.
Yeah. I mean, I personally liked Halloween H2O. We actually watched that the other night, Halloween H2O. But honestly, that movie, a better title would be like an hour and a half of beating the crap out of Michael Myers. Because that's really what the majority of the movie is just people wailing on Mike Myers. He doesn't get too many kills. He gets a couple. But like for the most part, like especially the whole third act is basically Laurie Strode just beating the ever-living crap out of Michael Myers until she eventually kills him. Which then in Resurrection, they revealed it wasn't him. He switched with the ambulance driver, and you're just like, stop. Just stop.
And you just see M. Night Shyamalan just peeking out of a bush somewhere, just like, what a twist.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, no, it's not a twist. It's a fucking cop-out.
Hey, I got an idea. What if, like, you know, he switched with the ambulance driver and, like, he tore out his tongue so, you know, he couldn't talk, so you still think it was him, but it's not really Mike Myers. Dude. Why do you still have a job?
Why are you here? We fired you 3 years ago.
Go find silverware.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I actually saw a piece of footage recently where Jamie Lee Curtis talked about that because she originally saw the script for H2O and she's like, okay, here's the thing. I'll come back, but I need to kill Michael at the end. Like, this needs to be a definitive end, done, whatever. And she kept getting the script back, and it was a different ending or the same ending each time, but not the ending that she thought, where like she hacks his head off with an axe. And she was like, guys, after like the 4th or 5th time, she's like, guys, what is going on? Where is the ending that we talked about, where I chop off his head and this thing is over? And they're like, all right, well, here's the deal. There's something in the contract that says that we can't kill the character off because they need to leave it open for a sequel. And she was like, you're kidding me. This is ridiculous. So basically, she kind of knew going into H2O that there was going to be another one, but that just sucks, man. Like, because it's such a weird and terrible cop-out that's how, like, it just makes no sense. It just makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
And I loved H2O until they ruined it with that. And I mean, even though it was like, let's beat the crap out of Michael Myers and totally, like, you know, take the teeth out of the monster, like, still, it was kind of like the point behind it was kind of nice because, like, the whole point of the movie is confronting your monster and killing it. And I like that. That's pretty badass, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of similar to like how Halloween Kills is like right now. It's essentially like, you know, face the demons of your past. Like, you go through some like traumatic experience, it's coming back. What are you going to do? Are you going to run from it, or are you going to face it?
Okay, so maybe I will like it, because if it's along the same, like, you know, spiritual successor, if you will, to H2O, maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Like,
unless it's an hour and a half of beating the crap out of Michael Myers again. It's just like, I take this and an elbow and off that top rope. Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for one fall in a solid steel cage.
fucking Iron Sheik just comes out with a chair. I kick your ass, Bubba, make you humble.
Break you in half, break your back, make you humble. Michael Myers, jabroni.
Dude, if that happened, I would have looked at my friend and just been like, can I just go back and pay for this, please? like,
I don't deserve to be here for free.
No. No, entertainment like this, you do not fucking get that for free.
Oh, man. Well, I'll let you know when I check it out and what I think of it.
All right, man. Yeah. You should have fun. You should have fun with that.
Maybe I'll watch it on my birthday, which, by the way, next week we won't be able to do a podcast because I'll be birthdaying.
All right.
A week from today.
You old fuck.
Exactly. Exactly. Not too far from the big 4-0 at this point, so.
Yeah, you and me neither.
Yeah.
I'm a year behind you.
Yeah, I know. Sneaks up on you, man.
All right, so here, hey, I got an idea.
Hey,
You could go back to any age. What would you be?
if I could go back to any age or be any age?
Yeah, like it'd be any age.
If I could be any age, I'd probably go back to like, let's see, probably like 23-ish. Because that's like right when I met Liz, which is great, and it was also like when I kind of stopped giving a crap about like learning about guitar, and I would go back and actually like put the more time into it.
Fair enough, man.
So that's what I'd go back to. Honestly, like +2, like 23 was like college years, and I kind of miss college years, man. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I was in a band. You know, I was living with you and probably Ryan, I think, at the time, and.
Yeah, I think so. Well, 23, you wouldn't have been.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, 20. Like, dude, I graduated at 21.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, so it would have been after college. So post college years.
Okay, like just those like couple of years after college.
Yeah. I mean, college would have been cool too, because I mean, college was fun.
Yeah, and that's probably around the age I would pick would probably be like 21.
Right on.
Like, not gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll get back to the youth when I was drinking all the time. Like, dude, how many times did I get drunk in college?
I don't think once.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
I maybe
mean,
had like
you might have drank, but you never really got drunk.
Yeah, like I maybe had like a 6-pack of Labatt Blue that lasted me a week.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so like I was never a big drinker, but I loved like that mindset, like of where I was at that time, where I was just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be graduating college soon. I have this, this beautiful girl that has sex with me all the time. I have really good friends around here, man. Like I feel loved. Like, this is fucking. I don't think it gets better than this. And then it's like, hey, here's your piece of paper. Try and get a job now, dick.
It's like, wow, it really doesn't get better than this.
It really doesn't. Like, this is one hell of a high to come crashing down.
I was gonna say, like, they do tell you, like, when you're going into college, like, savor these years. They're the best years of your life, and you're always like, yeah, right. What's gonna be so great about it? And then in hindsight, you're like, dang, you're right. That was the best.
And it's like we heard the same thing about high school. Like, oh, you're gonna miss all your friends that you've made here, and it's gonna be, come back to a reunion. It's gonna be amazing. Like, no, it's not.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, but see, the thing is, like, high school, I agree. Like, people tell you that it's going to be the best years of your life, but then it isn't. And, because part of that is, like, you still live at home with your parents. You get bullied a lot because, let's face it, high school sucks for pretty much everybody. But then in college, like, you get to go, for the most part, most people go live away from their parents, So, like, it's sort of like going to camp for 4 years.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to a camp and trying to learn a skill for 4 years, but it's also like...
While fighting off hangovers for some of us.
Yeah, but unlike normal camps, you can actually, drink alcohol and get laid at this one.
Yes. Well, maybe some camps you could do that too, but
maybe, but you got to be very careful. I hear Crystal Lake is pretty fucking strict.
I heard that, speaking of Crystal Lake, I heard that the kills in Halloween Kills were pretty good.
They are, yes.
Okay. So, all right. At least I get that to look forward to.
Yeah,
because I saw there was a meme floating around of like Jason Voorhees going like, "I've got the best kills," and Michael Myers with the on the poster from Halloween Kills saying, "Oh, really?" And Jason's just got his head hung like, "Oh crap."
Yeah, I don't know. I think Freddy Krueger would have something to say about that, but that's kind of an unfair kind of a comparison though. If like you're doing Freddy versus Michael Myers, because like, all right, you enter the dream world, like Freddy can kill you literally doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, usually it's Michael Myers with just like a knife.
Right. Yeah. Unfair fight for sure.
Yeah, like there's only so many ways you can be creative about killing somebody with a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for a movie. Last thing I need is somebody contacting the cops and just be like, "Hey, so this guy on a podcast saying you can't be creative with a knife anymore." And
we have video evidence. Look, he confessed to murders.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't think
just
so.
Like just Robert Stack coming out of his grave, like, "Update: we now have the fat bastard that killed people." Like,
turns out he was a shark the whole time.
Here's video of him charging at police. All right, new dumb friends.
Strangely, wherever he went, we heard da-dum, 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 da-dum.
here he is trying to wear a fake mustache as if that would keep him a secret. Fuck!
I just picture like a shark with one of those like old timey mustaches, like all the hipsters have. Like, I say, hipster shark.
Oh, I love you for that.
The Billy Finnegan of sharks.
Yes. Shout out to Billy Finnegan. Speaking of which, if you go on Facebook, look for Finnegan's Sideshow Circus. They are doing a tour right now.
Yeah.
They came back from Utah a little while ago, and you know, if you can catch them on tour, fucking do it, man.
And if you can ta, he can ta. Remember that.
And if you can be a shark, and he can be a shark,
then I don't know, but the math checks out.
yeah. If I could change, and you could change,
we can all change. Everyone can
all
change. Meanwhile.
That kind of reminds me, like they're actually doing a director's cut of Rocky IV in the theaters. I actually kind of
I heard about that. I heard about that.
Yeah.
By director's cut, they mean Stallone, right? Didn't he direct it?
I think so.
I wonder what they're going to do different. I hope they're not going to go back and like reshoot new. Could you imagine like a current day Dolph Lundgren and Stallone like having to reshoot footage for Rocky IV? I break you. Like that looks a little out of place.
Dude, get Disney involved in that. I mean, shit, they did that de-aging thing for Samuel L.
Yeah,
Jackson.
the deep fake stuff.
Yeah, but it's also like we already got like the modern day, you know, confrontation between Lundgren and Stallone and fucking Creed 2.
That's true. That's true.
Which so far the Creed movies have been badass. I fucking love them.
Yeah, I only saw the first one, but I heard they were both good.
Second one's really good too, man. I liked it.
Right on. There's another thing I got to check out.
Yeah, there's so much for you to check out.
I know, there really is. There really is.
Go
I have no
Chucky.
time for it right now, though. And plus, once I do get some free time, I'm gonna be wanting to spend a lot of time like practicing music and stuff. So, plus, I gotta eventually get this album recorded so I can actually put that to bed. I've been talking about that for like 2 years, but you know, we'll get there.
You'll get there.
One step at a time.
I have faith in you.
One step at a time, one punch at a time, one round at a time. That was a horrible Stallone.
Hey, stop trying to do voices of Johnny Ace. Damn kid.
Hey, Vince, your biceps look really nice today.
The big and vascular.
Vascular. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you this, man, about the I actually came back from vacation on Saturday night.
Yeah, how was your vacation, man?
Not this previous Saturday, but the Saturday before that. But the vacation was good, man.
Good.
Like it was good. You know, smooth flight going out there, nice direct flight, fucking like 3 hours. I'm playing a fucking Nintendo on the way out there. I'm like, this is fucking great. Got a nice aisle seat. I'm like, hell yeah. Just in case I need to pee. I'm probably not going to, but just in case. Because it's like, look, man, as great as it is to have the window seat and whatnot, but like being a fat guy, like if you got the window seat and you got to pee, or God forbid you got to take a shit, like that's the worst fucking experience ever.
The row has to clear out for you.
Yeah, the row has to clear out for you, or like even if they kind of like lean back a little bit more, they're just like, you know, they start leaning back, and you just like, if you have to take a shit, you're maybe like letting small farts out in their faces. Oh, it's a nightmare.
Excuse me, pardon me. You know I must stink because I'm homeless, but plus I just farted back there.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking at you like, and then when you told them the government tried to put a chip in your brain, I damn pissed myself.
Almost. Oh man.
So yeah, it was good, man. We flew out there. The first night we did Halloween Horror Nights. Like, you know, we landed, got checked into the hotel and whatnot. Did Halloween Horror Nights, which was fucking cool as hell.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, like some of the houses were cool. Some of them were lame as fuck. Like the lame, like I think my least favorite one there was called like Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna not pay you for the tooth you leave under your pillow.
Oh no! So Oh no! So the basic story of it was like, kid loses a tooth, puts it under a pillow, and like refuses to give the tooth to the tooth fairy. Which, in a way, I would kind of agree with, because it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do with a piece of my skull?
Yeah, seriously.
Tooth fairy gets pissed off and like punishes the child by like turning into like this little like monster demon thing, and like transconfuculates the entire house, and they're just like into just like this warped like nightmare. Like all the like the maids and the butlers are all screwed up, the parents are screwed up, there's other kids screaming and whatnot.
I thought you were gonna say they turned into Dwayne the Rock Johnson and lay the people's elbow on him.
Oh, dude, that would have been fucking great.
Tooth Fairy's just like, you're not gonna give me the tooth? Well, if you smell.
Oh, dude, that would have been great. Like, you just go in there by yourself. Like, you see this whole story about the Tooth Fairy. Tooth Fairy's like, fine, I'm gonna take it out on you. And like, this guy just comes out, gives you a fucking rock bottom. Like,
yeah.
Dude, like, I'll go in 3 times.
They rip off an elbow pad, throw it at the screen.
Like they just throw it down at you because fuck it, you're spending enough money going in there. You can just in here.
Yeah. That'd be hilarious and awesome.
That would have been.
But that's not what you got.
No, that's not what we got. That's not.
It's not.
No. But it was kind of cool. Like, so we did some other stuff at like Universal. Like, we got like they had like specialty foods there. We went on the Transformers ride because fuck it, there was like no line there, so we just got right on.
Right on. I saw you got a lightsaber.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. Like, I'll get into a little bit more of that later. But like when I got home, my mom was like, "Oh, what the hell's that?" Like, it was like they give you like a padded like carrying case for it too, because like, fuck it, you're spending like at least $220 on it. Like, the least they can do is give you a carrying case for it.
I would hope so. Woo.
Yeah. So
that hurt, and I'm sitting down, man. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I just picture you like your mom being like, "What's that?" And you're like, "An adult sex toy."
And dude, I would have gone back to my therapist, and she was like, they were better back in my day. But yeah, man.
They didn't even have to light up, but they were better. Oh shoot! It makes noise.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
like the handle's got some weight to it too, man, because it's all like metal and whatnot. I'm like, hell yeah, I like this shit.
What is the actual like the tube made out of?
Plastic.
Right on.
Yeah,
I would hope so. Not like a glass or something like that. That'd be kind of like.
No, like the only thing that I don't like about it is like if you tap it up against your hand, like it doesn't make like that sound like it's hitting something.
Yeah, like the old school toys you see, like the ones that like telescoped out, the plastic ones.
Oh, dude, like I actually built like a couple of them for like Joan Alexia's kids, for example. They actually do that.
Oh yeah,
dude, they were like maybe a fifth of the cost.
Yeah,
like, come on.
Well, I presume that's because Disney doesn't want, like, if you have like a couple kids and you buy like 2 of them, like, because you're a parent that can drop that kind of cash on 2 of those things, they don't want you to be like smacking them together and stuff, I would imagine.
And here's the thing too, like they had a shop where like you could buy like extra like kyber crystals, so you can like change the color of the blade and whatnot. Oh. And they actually had like replacement blades too. Like if your blade broke, like, hey, you can buy a new one.
Oh wow.
I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. So I ended up buying.
But the whole thing of it was like you can design like the part that you hold, right? Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, the part that you hold. There were 4 different options. I'm trying to bring up the photo from that because there were like 4 different.
No, I can't see it. Your camera's off.
Well,
hence,
yeah,
hence the sharks here.
What they were called?
Oh, I see. Okay.
My God.
Hey, I got an idea. How about I keep being the idiot and.
Hey, I got an idea. How about I keep being stupid, and you just keep going about your day.
You just keep looking for that picture. Doot.
Yeah, hell, I can't really find it. But there were like essentially 4 factions. There was like an elemental style blade you could do. There was like truth and justice. And there were like 2 others. I can't really remember, but I did the truth and justice one because I'm just like, fuck it. That's the one that looks like Luke's saber. Fuck yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I from looking at it, I was like, it kind of looks like. Well, do you mean Luke's like the original one he got from Ben Kenobi? Because he had another one when he turned Jedi.
Yeah, I think I was aiming for one of them. I think I got like one that looks close.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, yeah, it looks similar. Fuck yeah.
I sound like such a nerd knowing that, I guess. Although maybe not in this day and age where it's like, actually, the one from you know, like.
You dork.
Seriously. But I mean, technically, Luke's first saber was Ben Kenobi's. Remember?
Yeah, it was Ben Kenobi's. It's been a while since I've watched those movies, but still.
And then eventually he got another one that was green and it had a different handle.
Yeah. Then I think he showed up again in part like 8 and had a different like saber or something like that. Like the handle of it might have been a little bit different, or it might have been the same one.
Oh, I've never seen that. Where he comes back.
Yeah. You're okay not seeing it. So
yeah, that's fine. What I heard. I've heard that like the 3 after, so like they did the prequels, and I've heard the 3 that they did after the prequels are kind of like,
yeah, they're hit or miss.
And what's crazy to me is that all 3 of the original like trio of characters, like Han, Leia, and Luke, all die in the last 3 that they made. It's like, and I know Leia died because presumably because of Carrie Fisher died.
Well, no, Leia, as far as I know, did not die in those movies. Like the last one, like
I thought she did.
No, as far as I know, like she used like a bit of the Force to like move herself like through space back to like a rescue capsule or something like that, and they just have her lying in bed like in a coma or something like that. But as far as I know, she didn't die. But then Carrie Fisher actually passes away, and it's like, well, shit. But yeah, I don't know. All I know is, man, I tried going for one of those like black kyber crystals that they have.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is like they make the only way you can find it is if you go for like a red kyber crystal like container. I don't know why I'm trying to hold this up to a camera because you can't fucking see me.
Now who's the idiot?
It's always been me. Has there ever been a question?
So you go for the red kyber crystal?
Yes. So they're like you have to go for the red kyber crystal with like the silver like ends on it, and there's like a 1 in like 100 chance that you get it.
And that would be a black one?
That would be a black kyber crystal, yes.
And then the actual thing is black?
Yeah, like the actual thing like turns black. I think there's like maybe like a white outline or something like to it. I don't know. I don't know how it looks because I've never like seen it in person, but
is there anyone like in the franchise who actually had a black saber? Because I don't recall ever seeing that.
I think there might have been somebody in like a Star Wars like TV show or something like that. I almost slipped and said Star Trek, but
oh, now you're really gonna get the nerds mad.
Excuse me, sir. Those are quite 2 different galaxies, if you don't mind.
Oh man, that's a lot of missed opportunity though. If you think about it, like to do a crossover between the 2, man. Although I don't know, some fans might get a little butthurt over that. Like, no, you can't cross. You don't cross the streams.
It's like, oh, it worked out last time.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking at like a Star Wars fandom Wikipedia thing. So it's called the Dark Saber, which I guess.
Original.
Dark Saber was an ancient and unique black-bladed lightsaber created by Tara Vizsla, the first Mandalorian ever inducted into the Jedi Order prior to 1032 BBY. I have no idea who the fuck any of these people are. The weapon was kept at the Jedi Temple after Vizsla's passing, but members of the House Vizsla stole the saber in a conflict with the Jedi during the fall of the Old Republic. The Dark Saber was passed down generation to generation by the ancestors of pre-Vizsla, who held on to the weapon even after the pacifist ideals of the new Mandalorians replaced the warrior ways of Mandalore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. So,
but you ultimately decided not to go for that and just get a green one?
Well, yeah, so I went with the green one originally, and then I ended up getting like 3 more. I ended up getting a red one, a purple one, and a yellow one.
Oh, right on.
It's like they were out of blue, so I was like, well, shit on me, I guess.
How much are the other crystals, if you don't mind me asking?
The crystals, they were like $18 each.
Oh, that's not bad. I mean, especially if you've already got the Saber, to just, spend like $20 to get a different color, like that's a good deal, honestly. Because then effectively you've got like 4 lightsabers for, an extra like $80.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. And like I know I can go on like Amazon and get like other colors. Like apparently there's like a white one that I'm sure you can find the black one on there, the blue one's on there.
Yeah, I bet you could too.
Depending on the color, it's between like $20 to $25 or something like that. I'm like, all right, well, fuck it, it's Amazon, I guess.
It would be cool if they could do one that like changes colors. Like an LED kind of thing that sort of cycles through, like red, green, that kind of thing.
Well, like you just kind of like twist the bottom and it becomes a different color.
Not only that, but just like it just kind of rotates through them, kind of like constantly. Although twisting through them would be a kind of cool idea too. You just kind of click, 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 and like red, yellow, green, blue, whatever. Like that'd be pretty sweet too.
Oh, it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if they maybe like Superman just came out, or Superman's son just came out as bi. Maybe if they ever come out with a bi Jedi, they'll do that sort of thing, where like he has a rainbow lightsaber. You never know.
You never know. I don't know. It's like people also got pissed off about the whole Superman thing coming out, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right. Number one, it's not the Superman that you know and love.
And to quote Ben Affleck, these are fictional characters. Fictional characters.
Exactly. Like we talked about that on the vacation. I was just like, look, if the sexuality of a fictional character has you so fucking hurt, please re-examine your life.
If it even factors into anything that you care about, yeah, like why?
Like, I'll never buy a Superman comic again. Like, oh really? When was the last time you bought a Superman comic? Well, I mean,
1942. Superman wasn't around then.
It's like, well, okay, so they're not going to miss you then.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, A, it's a fictional fucking character. B, it's his son.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding that they think that it's like the original, like, oh, Clark Kent is coming out as bi, and it's like,
no, it's his son, Jonathan Kent, the child that he had with Lois. Because he loves Lois Lane. This is ridiculous. Like, so
yes, that didn't change.
Yeah, so I'm guessing you guys need to brush up on your Superman history and read up on pink kryptonite, you fuck.
Oh, man.
There's a reason they got rid of that, because you know why? It's not fucking cool. Dumbasses.
Oh, man.
And again, I cannot stress this point, but like, who cares?
That's really, well, I think because people are just assuming that it's the original Superman and it goes against the original storyline, but it's like if you read the actual what they said, like who it is, like, and even if they did do that, like, does it really matter that? Like, they've changed stuff like that all the time, Yeah,
it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's like here's the thing. The comic books, like the characters, they need to evolve for people to still care about them. If they're still the one-dimensional note characters, people are not going to give a shit about them. Mm-hmm. Hence why Superman, if this were the same Superman as like back in the 1930s and 40s, like nobody would give two shits, because like, okay, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can make up a power at will.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they kind of did do that over time. Like his initial powers were much, much less than they became over time. But that's probably kind of to your point of like, if all he can do is this smallest of stuff, like it's going to get old kind of fast. What if he can also fly? What if he can also have, not X-ray vision, but like laser vision and stuff like that? What if he can, blow really cold wind and like all this crazy stuff that he eventually is capable of doing? Like initially he could leap tall buildings in a single bound, which is not flying, by the way, and he could outrun a locomotive, and he had superhuman strength. That was basically it. Nothing said he could, survive being shot by a bullet. Nothing ever said he could fly. No mention of the, the vision stuff. None of that. It was all added over time.
There was alluding to that, like in the comic books as well. Like an uncle of mine had like a compendium almost of like a bunch of like the first Superman comics.
Oh, cool.
And like in one of the first panels, like you're seeing Clark Kent like trying to get a shot from a doctor, and the needle keeps breaking on his skin.
Oh, really?
It's implied that like, yeah, he's got impervious skin.
But it still doesn't mean he can necessarily like survive a bullet, but I don't know why, but that reminds me of another really like kind of terrible but funny Bill Hicks joke where he talked about like people who would walk around wearing a Superman shirt. He's like, man, I hate that. I just kind of want to go up to them with a gun and just like, well, guess not.
But I also remember, dude, when that movie Man of Steel was coming out, the first Superman movie with Henry Cavill as Superman. Dude, I remember this clear as a fucking bell. Like one of the big headlines on Fox News or talk shows and whatnot. Is Superman gay? And it's like,
because of Henry Cavill?
No, it's because like, well, I mean, he wears tights. And it's like, well,
yeah,
so a lot of other heroes.
Seriously.
Like, number one, you're talking about a fictional comic book character, which A, should not fucking concern you in the least. And fucking B, like, who gives a fuck?
I mean, just
like,
practically speaking, tights are not the best thing for a superhero to wear because they're not very protective. But then again, if you're Superman and bullets don't harm you, does it really matter?
No, I mean, there's also a reason for that too. Which, I mean, if you go watch the death battle that they did on Superman versus Goku, like they go into in depth about it. Like his bioelectric aura like protects himself and his suit. So there's that. But,
it's my aura protects me, bro.
Yeah, man. It's like, yeah.
I'm gonna go light some brown kryptonite and smoke some green. Actually, he couldn't smoke green kryptonite. That's the stuff that kills him. But the joke didn't pan out.
No, it didn't.
Fell apart really quick.
The goddamn plane has crashed into the mountain.
Oh man.
Dumbass.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to your vacation.
Yeah, so getting back to the vacation, it was fun, man. We did Hollywood Studios, went on Rise of the Resistance, which was really fun. We did Smuggler's Run, which, I mean, dude, if I go back to Disney, like you and Liz are coming with me. We're fucking doing that.
That's a Star Wars thing, is it not? Smuggler's Run?
Yeah.
That's
like
what I thought.
You're flying the Millennium Falcon. And the way
That's
they
pretty
have it
cool.
set up is they have 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and like 2 engineers.
Oh.
So the job of the 2 pilots, like one pilot like steers the ship left and right, and another one, flies it up and down. You have a left gunner, you have a right gunner, pretty self-explanatory, and then you have the engineers who can either like, as far as I understand, like I never did the engineering thing while I was there, but you can either boost up the shields or you can like help the gunners like lock onto targets.
Lock on target. Lock on target. That's cool. Yeah. I've never understood that scene in the first Star Wars where like, because it looks like they're on top and on the bottom of the Millennium Falcon, but then like they're looking across at one. Like if you look at like the toy of the Millennium Falcon, the cannons are on the top and on the bottom, but in the movie and in what you just described, they're like left and right. How are they looking left and right but being top of the... Ow, it hurts.
I think the way it was is like, you're on that deck and there's a ladder you can use to go up to the gun station that's on the top, and then there's another one that leads down to the bottom where you go to the bottom one. And so like when Harrison Ford is like looking back screaming, "That's great, kid, don't get cocky," like he's shouting down that tunnel where
down
the ladder
the tube,
is.
But he's not like looking at him.
Right.
Okay.
"That's great, kid, don't get penisy."
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun doing that. One of the things I really like wanted to do while I was down there, but I was too fucking busy to do anything else, was like we stayed at the Coronado Springs Disney Resort. And like I wanted to, like they had this huge fucking like swimming pool area. I just wanted to go soak in the fucking hot tub literally all fucking day, like from open until close. I don't care if like skin gets warped or whatever. Like I don't care. I need.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Oh no, you go in there for like 20 minutes, half hour tops maybe, but
yeah.
Regardless, I was just like, oh,
I want to melt.
Like I just like just give me a pillow so I can rest my head and I'll just live here.
And then the vaccine kicked in and you turned into Hot Tub Man.
God damn it. Wow.
With the power to make water hot and bubbly. With his flatulence.
With the power to make elderly people with joint pain go away.
Oh, man. Jacuzzi Man.
Yeah, that'd be my name, Jack Uzi.
Jack Uzi. Oh my gosh.
Fucking terrible.
By day, a mild-mannered pool supply boy.
By day, he is known as Cabana Boy. By night, Jack Uzi.
Oh man.
So I think something got lost in the origin story here.
Oh man.
So anyway, so let me kind of rewind a little bit. Because like I had barely touched down in Orlando and I was already pissed off.
Oh.
So we'll rewind a little bit. So I'm at the airport in Providence. I mean, technically it's Warwick, but you know, technicalities. Anyways, so I get to like where my flight is, and it was kind of a cool thing in the sense of like I hear Andrew, and I'm thinking it's like one of my friends like behind me or something like that. There was a lady that I worked with at the donut shop. I was like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" She's like, "Oh, not much. You know, found out the donut shop's gonna be closed, so you know, told my daughter like, hey, you want to go to Disney?" Yep. Here we are. I was like, "Shit, all right, another friendly face in the skies. That's awesome." So started chatting for a little bit and whatnot. Eventually, we just like found our seats on the plane, and I put my phone in airplane mode. We just touched the ground, and, like, you know, the plane's kind of coming to a stop, just getting ready to like taxi up to the airport and all that shit. Turn my phone off of airplane mode. I have a missed call from the owner of the shop and a 2-minute voicemail from him, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me with this. And it was basically a voice message saying like, hey, you know, so I know you're on vacation right now, but you know, nobody ever told me when you're coming back. Just give me a call when you get back, and you know, or when you get a chance, and just, you know, let me know what's going on. And he starts going off on this thing of like what's going on at the shop, what he wants to do and whatnot, like what's happened to it recently. So I'm just like, I haven't even been in Orlando for 5 minutes and I'm already pissed off. You know, it was kind of like, you know, fucking like when did you listen to Talk is Jericho with Moxley, like after he was let go from like WWE, or like he quit WWE, whatever have you, let his contract run out?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So there was one part like he was talking about how he wanted to come back, and he was like, you know, I want to come back like at SummerSlam, just an unannounced thing, just like, you know, Seth's in trouble, that's fine, I got no problem rushing there if I can help him like take out Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler. That's fine. I'll do that. No problem. And then they're like, well, we're going to have you come back before SummerSlam. And he's like they had agreed to let me come back at SummerSlam. And then they're like, no, we're going to go with our original plan. And you're going to come back, you know, before the week before SummerSlam. And he's like, I'm not even back yet. And I'm already pissed off about this whole thing.
And that's precisely where you were.
Yeah. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm just thinking like, A, your son has known about this vacation for 6 months. It's not my fault that the shop is closed down because we don't have enough people cutting donuts. He's known about this for like, he's had 6 months to get to like, oh shit, we need to find coverage for this guy, or we need to, you know, do something about this, hire more people, whatever have you. And keep in mind as well, like 2 days before I left on vacation, he fired the other full-time donut cutter. Like literally fired him by text message.
That's the worst part. That's like breaking
Because
up
he was
over
asking to
text
leave
message,
early.
honestly.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing too. Like the reason he had gotten fired, like I don't know all the details of it, but essentially he wanted to like leave a little bit earlier because he wasn't feeling well physically and emotionally. He was fucking distraught because his family was trying to, you know, foster these kittens. All of the kittens had died within a week of being born because the mother wasn't producing enough milk. So he's just like, dude, I can't right now. So even I looked at him. I said, "Hey, man, like, you just help me out with this, this next like 50-pound like yeast donut mix." He's like, once we get to like, if we fry half the box, you can head right out, man. Like, I got no problem with that. It's like I know, like, dude was hacking his brains out all fucking morning, and not wearing a mask. To be fair, I wasn't wearing a mask either, but I wasn't exactly coughing either. But regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless.
But remember, our customers and whatever don't care if you get sick or,
Yeah.
It'll show solidarity with the group if you show up practically dead.
So one of the things he had told me was one of the text messages from, the boss at that time was, I pay you to be reliable. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, the dude is sick. Let him go home.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Like, I still have a text message from him, like, encouraging me to, like, go to work sick, or, like, telling me, oh, no, you should have stuck around the shop if you were sick. That's fine. Like, nobody would have got it mad.
Mm-hmm.
He went in the next day, like, wearing a mask. I'd taken a bunch of, like, cold meds and whatnot. And I was just like, all right. And I asked a couple of the girls up front. I said, okay, let me just ask you this. If I, like, came into work sick, you guys didn't know it was me, you end up getting sick, and then you find out that it was me that was sick and that got you sick, and you had to miss some time from work, would you have been pissed off at me? That both said yes, like, without question. We would have kicked your ass. I'm like, that's what I thought. Okay. So, anyways, fast forward to like later on that day, I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. If I don't send him a text message, he's probably gonna call me again.
The day when you're on vacation?
Yeah. Like, so, like, the first day I'm on vacation.
I mean, the real meat and potatoes of this is that, like, you're on vacation. Leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
You know?
Like literally the only ways or the only reasons he should contact me, like, while I'm on vacation is if, like, hey, I know you come back from vacation this day, but looks like you're going to get a few more days off because the shops are going to be closed for renovations, or, hey, I know you were closely working with this person and whatnot. They unfortunately passed away, blah, blah, blah. I was like, something like that. Fine. No problem. But yeah, I was like, other than that, there should be no fucking reason to contact me on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But I send him a text message because I'm like, if I don't fucking reach out to him, he's going to fucking keep calling me. And keep in mind, this is the same guy that said, what did you do to deserve 2 weeks off? And then, like, before I left on vacation, like, oh, enjoy your vacation. I'm sure you deserve it. I'm just like, you motherfucker. And here's the thing. I did a lot of, I bit my tongue so many times in that goddamn place. I'm surprised it hasn't fallen out of my mouth yet. So,
you're surprised you didn't get your head chopped off at the end of Halloween H2O yet?
Yeah. I'm surprised that, I wasn't replaced as a paramedic. So I sent him a text message saying, hey, as per my normal schedule, I'll be back. Like, I'm flying back. I told him I was taking, like, a red eye on Saturday. It wasn't true. I was flying back on Friday night. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm flying in a red eye, Saturday night. I'll be back, like early Sunday morning. And I said I'll be at work on Tuesday pending a negative COVID test result because fucking Florida. And he just responds back, call me when you can. Thanks. A big smiley face. I'm just like, dude, I'm not calling you when I'm at a Disney park because it's going to be really noisy. I'm barely going to fucking hear you. And B, I'm not going to call you, like, when I'm on a bus to fucking, like, go back to the hotel or go to another resort and whatnot, because A, it's going to be noisy, and C, nobody else wants to hear that conversation. And, C, I'm not going to call you when I'm at my hotel room because I'm going to be fucking asleep.
I love that you just use 2 C's. 1, 2, C.
Whatever.
A, 2, C. What?
I'm kind of surprised you didn't pay.
Is there an outline that goes along with this that I didn't get the handout for?
It's like, I'm kind of surprised you being like, look, I pay you to know your 1, 2, 3s and ABCs. I pay you to be reliable with this shit.
Oh man.
But yeah.
So
like,
Andy, you coming back to the podcast next week? Yeah, pending a negative COVID test.
I'll be back in C-weeks.
Which is about 45 minutes from now.
Yeah, so I don't even call him back the entire vacation.
Good.
So now it comes time to like go home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, other people had like dropped off like certain days because they, could only afford to stay so long and whatnot. I, kind of stayed with everybody else for like the week-long trip. And so we're walking around Disney Springs, which if you haven't been there, it's essentially like Disney-themed Patriot Place.
Okay.
It's just a place to walk around, bunch of shops, restaurants, all that fucking happy jazz horse shit. So we're walking around. We kind of start walking back because like, oh shit, yeah, it's almost time for us to we got to go back to the hotel, get our bags, and do all that shit. Kind of get to the plane. The plane was leaving at like 7:50 at night.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, all right, cool. Let's start walking back. We start getting notifications like, hey, your flight's been delayed. We're like, oh, all right. And we kind of see like, there's clouds flying overhead. We're like, all right, if it gets delayed by like an hour or 2 hours or whatever have you, like, all right, whatever, we'll make it work.
Mm-hmm.
We can grab like dinner before we go back to the airport or whatever have you. So that's not the way it works out. Basically like half hour, like about 3 hours before our flight is scheduled to take off, we get a notification that, hey, your flight's been canceled. We booked you on a flight to leave tomorrow morning at like 9 a.m. I'm just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me with this. Like, why was the flight canceled and all that shit? And they're saying, well, it's, there was a mass walkout at Jacksonville, air traffic control. So we don't have anybody there to kind of coach us or anything. And then, so Saturday comes and like two of my friends were able to get on, like rebook themselves on an earlier flight, like a direct flight to Providence.
Mm-hmm.
I tried following in the footsteps of doing that. I couldn't get on that flight. There was another direct flight leaving at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't get on that one. So I was like, all right, well, shit. I'll stay on my normal flight. It's not a direct flight. I have like an hour and 20-minute layover in Baltimore. Whatever. It's fine. I'll land in Baltimore. I'll get some breakfast and then just hop on the next plane and I'm in Providence. Fine.
But that doesn't pan out.
No, that doesn't pan out at all. I land in Baltimore, take my phone off of airplane mode. Hey, your flight to Providence has been canceled. Don't worry, though. We rebooked you on a flight leaving on Tuesday morning.
Oh, man.
I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
And which day was this again?
This was on Saturday.
Saturday to leave on Tuesday?
To leave on Tuesday morning at like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. That is not comparable.
Yeah, so like I was like, all right, before I go get my bags, like what the fuck is going on here? So
this aggression will not stand, man.
Dude, I really wish I wasn't like if I was like if I was one of those persons that would like just did not give a shit if I was being video recorded or whatnot on somebody's phone, like I would have let loose. It's also like, all right.
And you also would have probably been detained by TSA.
Probably, but
he's got a weapon. He's got a lightsaber.
I'm like, it's a fake, man. Like, yeah, all these batons aren't fake. Taser, taser, taser. But yeah, so I get up to the desk after waiting like 45 minutes to talk to the lady. I'm like, hey, what the fuck is going on here? Like, why was my flight canceled? Oh, well, it's because of weather. I'm looking outside. It's a bright fucking sunny day in Baltimore. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, there's no other flights going to Providence.
It's too nice to fly, sir. You're just going to have to enjoy the day.
It's too bright. Our pilots don't have sunglasses, sir. And it's like, Jesus Christ. And so I'm like, all right, like there's no other flights going out to Providence. Like I can't catch a flight going out to Providence like tonight. Like fine, I'll hang out at the airport, watch some movies on my phone or whatever have you. Fine, I can deal with this. You know, I like to think in bad situations I'm kind of adaptable to the situation. Because I'm like, all right, you know, I got my phone, I can watch movies on it, I have video games, I'm okay.
But 3 days to wait, considering you're supposed to already be back into work by then, like that's
so
that's beyond adaptable.
Yeah, so I'm like, so I'm at the desk, I'm like, you know, this is not, you know, fucking reasonable. Like, what the fuck is going on with this? Like, I can't afford, you know, a fucking hotel room in Baltimore for a few days and then to come back here and fucking fly to Providence. Like, because like at this point, there's no guarantee that this flight is going to leave Baltimore and go to Providence.
Right. Then God forbid you show up on Tuesday and the weather's the same, or there's situations the same and you can't get your flight out. What then? Another couple days in Baltimore? Like,
Yeah,
sorry, sir, you were just stuck in Baltimore.
Yeah, it's
welcome
like, well,
home.
Sorry. Yeah, it's like, sorry, sir, there's heavy thunderstorms coming in Baltimore, so we're not going to be able to take off. Like, Jesus Christ. But I was like, this is the second flight you guys have canceled in less than 12 hours here. Like, what the fuck is going on here? And there's like, well, you know, we are short-staffed and whatnot. I'm like there isn't like another pilot that can do like an hour and a half flight to Providence.
You're like, screw it, I'll fly the plane.
Yeah, like I'll fly the fucking plane. I don't have 1,000 hours, but fuck it, it can't be that goddamn hard. I've done flight simulators.
I can push buttons.
Yeah. As long as you have somebody tell me what the fuck I'm doing, like I can try and make it work. So she's like, well, you know, unfortunately Tuesday morning is the only flight that we have going to Providence at this point. I'm like, well, are you fuckers gonna pay for, you know, for me to stay at a hotel here in Baltimore because you guys were the ones who canceled the flight? I said, or are you gonna like, you know, pay for another flight on like another airline for me to get home? Like, oh no, we don't do that at all, sir. We don't pay for incrementals like hotel rooms or other transportation. I'm like, you guys are the ones who canceled the fucking flight, not me. And they said, well, we are incredibly sorry for the inconvenience, sir. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I said, all right, you know what? Cancel that flight going home because I'm going to try and find another way to get home. You know, be it by, I was like, I don't care at this point if I have to take a bus. I'll take the fucking bus. Thankfully I didn't, but so she canceled that and she's like, well, here's something for your inconvenience. And they gave me what's known as a love voucher, basically a gift card for Southwest for $200. And I'm like, no. Like this does not fucking compensate me for the $225 I had to spend on the hotel room last night that I was only in for about 4 or 5 hours. And like, dude, I ended up spending $150 on a train ticket to get home. It was 6.5 hours.
Dude.
And like, I tried getting my bags back. Like, I'm in line to get my bags back. It's a 2-hour wait to get into the room to find out where my fucking bags are. And like the lady that was there, like she was working by herself. It was one lady that was working there, and she was just burnt out. Like she didn't get a second break or anything like that. Somebody, like one of her supervisors came and she's like, "Oh, good, you're here. Good. I'm gonna go home. I didn't get my second break yet. I'm gonna go home and get some rest. I don't care if other people have not shown up. That's on them. That's not on me. Do not punish me for that." I was like, you know what? As much as I want to be pissed off about the situation, kudos to her, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so like the lady in the office is like, okay, so there's a couple different options as to what we can do. Like, great. Do any of them involve me getting my bags back like as soon as possible? She said, well, it's going to be about a 4-hour wait.
Ooh.
I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like at this point, I'd already booked my train ticket, and like I found the shuttle bus to get to the train station. I'm just like, I just want to get my bags, get on the train, and go the fuck home, so I don't have to worry about any more of this shit. And then I can just fucking just do whatever I have to fucking Southwest to like get that money back for the fucking hotel room and whatnot. And she's like, well, unfortunately, it is going to take about 4 hours. She says the other option is, well, we can put those bags, like they were supposed to be transferred to Providence, right? I said, yes, that's where I was flying to. She goes, well, we can put those bags on the next flight to Providence. You don't have to be on the flight, but we'll fly them to that airport, and then you can just pick them up at the airport. I'm like, can you guys just mail them out to me? Like, you know, my address is on both of those tags. Like, that's not a fucking problem. Like, you guys can just mail it out. Like, it's happened to my dad before. Like, they send his bags home, like, via courier. They're like, oh, no, we can't do that. Like, can't or won't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I ended up, like, just in, like, while I'm in line for the bags, I'm just like, I cancel my train ticket because I'm like, well, fuck, I'm probably never going to make the fucking train now. The train was leaving at like 3:30-ish, something like that. And it was just bordering on like maybe like 2:30. I was just like, fuck, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have to stay here and just fucking like do this shit. So she presented the option like, look, we'll fly your bags to TF Green Airport, not a problem. You don't have to be on it, and then you can go and just pick them up. I was just like, for fuck's sakes. Is Southwest going to compensate me for the train ticket? Well, I don't know, sir. That's something you have to contact the company for. I'm like, fuck's sakes.
Did you end up doing that?
Yeah, so I end up contacting them on Twitter and by email, which I'll get to that in a minute. But I also said, like, you know, what the fuck is going to be done about this? It's like, not only is this a huge inconvenience, but this is already costing me $375 extra that I did not want to spend at this point. And she goes, well, I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing I can do. You have to contact the company. I'm like, for fuck's sake. All right, fine. Fly my bags out to TF Green. I don't give a shit anymore. Fuck it. And just walk out the room. And like, I'm trying to stay calm throughout this whole thing because I'm like, all right, I've worked in customer service. And like, if somebody comes up raging and screaming, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to help this person. But if they're calm, cool, collected, like, hey, you know, this is what's going on. What can we do? I'll help them. And I'm just like, I don't want to be like that. So I was just like, all right, fuck it. Take back my tags, my ID and whatnot, and rebook my train ticket. And I end up taking the fucking train home. I texting with my mom because she's like, well, am I picking you up at TF Green or what's going on? And I'm like, no, you're gonna just meet me at the fucking train station and just pick me up. It should be arriving around this time, or whatever have you. And like, I didn't get home that night until like maybe 11:30-ish.
Man,
I was just like, Jesus Christ, man. And like, I'm texting all my friends like, hey, I'm just passing New York right now. They're like, oh, on your way home? I was like, yeah. They're like, well, it's about fucking time. Like, are you flying? Like, no. So, but yeah, I sent something on Twitter to Southwest Airlines for canceling my flight. And let me see if I can bring that one up. Yeah, I put up on Twitter. I was like, hey, at Southwest Air, thanks for canceling my flight from Orlando to Providence 3 hours before flight time, then not giving a clear answer. One person says it's weather related. Another says because it's air traffic control and Jacksonville is understaffed. Now I'm spending more money for a hotel room that your staff is refusing to comp or even discount. And then they sent me back another tweet like, well, we're sorry for the inconvenience. We'll send you something in your email to try and make up for this. And it was another voucher for $150.
Lovely.
Like,
that really
like,
makes up for it.
Yeah, so right now I have about $450 in Southwest vouchers, and I'm just like, I don't want to fucking fly you guys right now because I'm fucking pissed at you.
Yeah, seriously. That's the real thing about this is like, gee, thanks. Like, you've made this whole experience terrible. What makes you think I even want to use you in the future?
Yeah, that's like going to a local pizza place. They shit on your pizza, and they're like, well, we really
Here's
hope
a free
we can
pizza.
Like, hey, here's a coupon to come back and try another pizza. Like, fucking no. Like, get your shit together.
And not on my pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking bastards. Yeah.
Crazy, dude.
It's crazy. So I get back. I get tested for COVID on Sunday. Both tests were negative, which I'm like, all right, huzzah, survived Florida.
Yeah. The breeding ground.
Oh no, dude, I was trying to be smart about it. Like, I'm keeping the mask on. Like, it doesn't matter like where the fuck I am. Like, the only times I took it off was like to eat. Like, if we're sitting down on like a meal, or if I got like a corn dog or something like that, I pull it down to eat. and pulled it down for a couple of pictures, and that was it. And like, back at the hotel room, I, took it off. But
Right
other than
on.
that, mask was on the entire goddamn time because I'm just like, I don't trust people, and I especially don't trust people in Florida.
Well, you know that the mask more protects other people from you than you from other people.
Yeah,
but
still,
cool.
But
good on
regardless,
you.
Good on me.
The best thing you can do to protect yourself is to get vaccinated.
Which, I've been fully vaccinated. Yeah.
Are you eligible for the booster at all? How long ago did you get your?
Well, no, because they're giving the booster shot just to people with like other like medical like needs and whatnot. Like if you have like diabetes or if you have cancer or something like that.
Well, others too, actually. Like the director of my school where I work, I call it work, but it's not work. But the director of the school where I teach, he let us know that basically as teachers, we are eligible to get the booster if we want. But I didn't have my second dose until like mid to late July, so it would have to be like a 6 month out from there, and obviously it's not even close to that. So I don't need it yet, and I'm not technically eligible for it because of that whole 6 month thing. But because I'm a teacher, if I was within that window, I could go get the booster if I wanted.
Yeah, like see, I was fully vaccinated. I was considered fully vaccinated on, I think it was May 29th.
Okay, so you're close, but even you would not necessarily be.
Yeah.
In that range. Which begs the question, by the way, like who would be in that range? It would be mostly like nurses and stuff. Like, because the only people who got the vaccine that long ago were like the first wave of people, which is like nurses and doctors and teachers. Elderly.
And like people that have, and people with like special like medical conditions. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not very many, but I guess it's the most important people to get them anyway, so.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if we don't have doctors and nurses, who the hell's going to administer the vaccines, right? So you kind of got to...
well, your crazy aunt that goes on QAnon will be able to fucking take care of you, right?
Exactly, yeah. Just take some Wolfsbane.
Here, just drink this disinfectant spray. It'll kill everything.
Oh,
don't worry about it. Like,
yeah, drink Windex. You'll be fine.
Dumb shit.
Yeah,
really. That's what the liberal media wants you to believe.
Windex is good for you.
Yeah.
It's got vitamin W.
It's got vitamin death. Yeah, so
there's actually an alcoholic drink that I think is called Windex because I think it's blue like Windex, and it begs the question, like, who the hell would order that?
Yeah. But then again, there's a lot of alcoholic drinks you would just kind of like wonder, like, okay, well, who's drinking this? Like, who the fuck orders a Zima?
Yeah.
So so I get back to Rhode Island. I call up my boss, like, hey, I got the negative test results, because he was hounding me for that too. I'm like, look, I don't have it yet. As soon as I get the test results, I'll text you and let you know what's going on. And he's okay. And it's like, he gets the, literally like later on that day, hey, did you get your test results back? Like, fucking no, leave me alone.
I will tell you when I get my results back.
Like, I will tell you when I get the test results. Like, just until then, calm the fuck down. So he's like, as soon as you get your test results, text them to me, and then call me. Like, oh my god, like, this guy is fucking relentless. So so eventually I get the test results. I call him up, like, hey, what's going on? Like, what is so urgent?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, I just want to let you know what's going on around the shop, and and just kind of give you a chance. If you want to stay on, great. If not, I fully understand. And I'm like, why the hell wouldn't I want to stay on? And he's like, well, one of the things he's changing, he's like, every employee is getting paid vacation, like 2 weeks paid vacation. He's like, I've never done that before. I'm like, well, that's great. He's like, yeah, but it's, if you want any other vacation time other than like these like 2 certain weeks, he's like, you're not going to get it, because my ability to say no is what's going to save this place. I'm like, oh my god. So I was like, all right, so if I have, like, I'm just saying it's not coming up, but I'm just saying, like, just for example, if let's say my brother, who lives in Las Vegas right now, is getting married in like April,
mm-hmm.
like I'm not going to be able to get the approved time off to go to his wedding. Nope, sorry, you're not going to get approved. Like, you can either come and make donuts or you can quit. I'm like, well, yeah, that's not happening.
I think I found my out here.
Yeah, so I'm just like, all right. I'm like, all right, let me hear the guy out. Let's see what other fun surprises he's put in this little fun house. He's like, we're hiring more people. I know, my son had told people that, we're going to be starting at $18 an hour. He's like, that's not true. He's like, while we're training them, it's going to be $16 an hour. And then if we decide to keep them on, then, we might bump them up to $18 an hour. I'm like, oh, so you're kind of lying to them. Okay, great.
That's not unusual though to have training wages and then actual like when you're on the job wages. That's not that unusual.
Yeah, but it's like they weren't upfront about it. That's kind of what like kind of pissed me off about it, because I'm like, all right, just say like, okay, start you off with $16 an hour to train, and then boost you up when should you become a permanent member of the crew.
That's the thing when I see like, earn up to 17, like you pass a McDonald's and it says earn up to $17 an hour. It's like, yeah, if you're like management, but you probably start you at what, like 12, if that.
If that.
What is minimum wage? I don't even know.
Federal, I think, is like $7.25 an hour, and then Rhode Island, I think, is like $10.50 an hour, something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what it is here. Massachusetts minimum wage is $13.50 an hour.
Oh, let's see. Rhode Island is $11.50 an hour. And it looks like the governor signed a law legislating that increases Rhode Island's minimum wage incrementally to $15 over the next few years. Saying it'll go up to $12.25 in January. And it's like, well, guys, that doesn't really. Never mind. Like I'm almost tired of having this fucking battle. But I digress. So. So I go back, the first day to help him train and whatnot. And like, he's already had like one or two guys there for like a couple of days training and whatnot. And like, as soon as I get in, like I go in, I wash my hands, and he's like, hey, I need to talk to you. So, punch in, I need to talk to you. I'm like, all right, well, this is never fucking good. So he goes over like the whole like vacation thing. And he says, how much you getting paid right now? I was like, 18 an hour. He goes, all right, well, that's not fair. If I'm going to bring everybody else up to $18 an hour, he's like, you've been here longer, you're going to get a raise too. I can't tell you what it is because it's going to depend on the business and like what we can afford to pay you. I was like, that's fine. I get it, man. No problem. And just like my body language is pretty much like, dude, I don't care. I'm already burnt out on this bullshit anyways. So the next thing I know, he points to a new schedule. It says, okay, so I know your normal schedule is Tuesday through Saturday from like 3:15 in the morning until like 11:15. He's like, we've made changes. He's like, number one, I'm not paying for your breaks anymore. He's like, people were taking advantage of that. I'm not doing that anymore. So you got to punch out for your break, punch back in. I was like, all right, fair enough, I guess. And like, keep in mind, there were shifts I had worked where like I never got a break because like I just couldn't like get that fucking time to like that, even like a 5 minutes to like just go and sit down or whatever, because we're like, oh, they're running short on donuts upstairs up front. I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do about it, man? Like, I'm trying to like as quick as I can here. I'm burnt out.
Seriously.
So he says, well, we're going to be closed on Mondays and Tuesdays now. That's going to be your new weekend. And I'm like, well, okay, there goes, any weekend fun I could have with like Joe or Bruce or whatever. Because I can't really hang out with you guys on Sunday nights because it's basically like, I'd have to leave at like maybe 6 or 7 o'clock because like, hey, got to go to bed. I've got to work tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm like, well, fuck, I wouldn't get out of work until like 10:30 in the morning, go home, shower and whatnot. I'd be leaving at like, 11:15 at like the earliest. And then what, 45 minutes up to you. So he says, and you were coming in at 3:15, right? I said, yeah. He's like, all right, well, we need to change that. So you're going to be coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning every morning. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, all right, well, now I've got to go to bed at like fucking like 6:30, 7 o'clock at like the latest, just so I can wake up in time. I'm like, man, like all the shit that he's not like really consulting me on, I'm fucking burnt out on this. Like I'm tired of this shit. Like I'm already pissed off and we're not even open yet.
And it's added up.
It's added up, and now I'm like fucking Popeye. Like I taking all I can stand. I can't stand. So eventually comes like to like 11:45, which is when I'm scheduled to leave at that time. And the boss looks at me, he's like, Andrew, 11:45. I'm looking up at the clock, it's like 2 minutes before that. I'm like, yeah, it's getting close, bud. And he's like, bye-bye. I'm like, oh, I get it. Fine, thanks. So I punch out. I'm there for like another 10 minutes because he's like, well, I want you to tell these guys what they need to do like for the rest of the day. I'm like shaking my head like, dude, you're right here. You're going to be staying. Are you not? I'm just like, I got so fucking burnt out about it. I was like, all right, you know what? Go home, take a nap. If you're still pissed off, then it's time to leave. And it's gotten so bad. Like my friends were telling me to like get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was telling me to get the fuck out of there. My therapist was telling me, yeah, you really need to leave there. He's like, it's become a toxic work environment, and it's not healthy for for the type of person that you want to be and for like where you want to be.
Right.
I was like, yeah, fair fucking point, dude. So I go home, I take a nap for like maybe 20 minutes because I'm so pissed off I can't even goddamn sleep. And I just wake up and I'm just like, I can't do this. Like I really can't do this anymore. Like it's almost like how AAA was, in the sense of like I'd pull into the parking lot and I just go, what the fuck am I doing to myself? Like if I keep going with this, I'm essentially giving them permission that, okay, yeah, this is a fine way to behave. Don't worry about me. I'll do this. And I was like, all right, he's taking the fucking, like he's giving me shit about taking time off from cutting donuts to go to a wedding and to go on a vacation that I've had planned for fucking 2 months. And like tried making me feel guilty about it too, in the sense of like, well, I had a trip scheduled for for the week that I was leaving. He's like, I had a trip scheduled for this week too, but I had to push it back because I had to come help you guys make donuts. It's like, dude, don't play a fucking guilt trip on me for this, man. Like I have earned this.
You're like, we've all made choices, sir.
We've all made choices. Like case in point, like your son decided to fire this guy 2 days before I leave.
Right.
And now you've got nobody. So I woke up, I was like, I go upstairs, I grab something to drink, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like I can't even give a 2-week notice because even if I have to put up with 2 more weeks of this, I can't do it. Like I'm gonna snap and I'm gonna bite somebody's head off, and I
pretty
don't want
fitting that you're a shark then, sir.
Nom nom. So yeah, I was pissed off about the whole situation. So I just sent a text message saying like, hey man, it's a tough text message to send. I'm going to be starting a new job soon, so I'm going to be swinging by tomorrow and dropping the key off. And I get a text message back saying, I understand. Thank you for everything you've done for me and my son in the past. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, all right. He took that a lot better than he probably wanted to. Because I just picture him like at his house just going, what the hell? Nobody wants to work anymore. What the hell's going on with people? It's like, well, no, nobody wants to work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yeah, like I'll work for $18 an hour. Fuck yeah. Like that was the highest paid gig I'd ever had in my life.
And it's making freaking donuts.
Yeah, no, making freaking donuts. But also keep in mind that like I didn't have like health. I didn't like have like employee sponsored like health care. So I had to pay for my own for that. And excuse me. there was no like 401k matching. There was no like other thing. Like the only perk I really got was like, oh, we'll give you free donuts for every now and then. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, is great and all, but still.
Yeah, it's not much though.
It's not much. Like, you know. So I go in the next day, and like I open the door. It's like 8:00 in the morning, and like I see the owner's there. He's like finishing up training like two of the guys learning to make crawlers or something. And he goes, he washes his hands, and dude is literally like an inch away from my face, going, "How you doing today?" And I'm like, "Good," until I just shit my pants here. Like he was like I was almost thinking of the movie Red State. Like how close was he? He was uncomfortably close.
Yeah. So what'd you do?
I headbutt him. Wanted to, but no, I didn't. I didn't do that. I have to think I have a little bit more tact than that. So yeah, so he goes, all right, let's go outside. And we get outside, and I'm just like, shit, this is it. He's gonna like shoot me behind the dumpster or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, he's like, they don't need to hear what we're talking about out here. But he basically said, you know, I'm really proud that you're going to be taking this next opportunity in your life. I hope it works out well for you. If it doesn't, he's like, call me. I'll put you back on the payroll. You got a job, no problem. And I was like, all right, man, I appreciate that. And he's like, you know, listen, I don't want you to think that I'm mad because you didn't give me a 2-week notice. He's like, you know, for everything that you have done for me and my son in the past, he's like, I don't worry about it. And I'm like, I kind of wasn't because I was leaving regardless. Seriously though, it was just such an aggravating job that, like, you know, I get back after dropping the key off, and my mom's like, yeah, so how you feeling? I'm just like, you know, those pictures of like, you know, the guy Atlas like holding up the world on his back and whatnot. She goes, yeah. I said, well, this is me. I pretend to put the world down and just fucking like brush off my hands and fucking walk away and flip it off. I was like, that's how I'm feeling right now. And just it was kind of weird because like throughout the day I like would occasionally just kind of like look up from what I was doing and just going, it's not my problem anymore. You know, it's like it's almost like a movie. Like, you know, the one guy looks at another one, just goes, dude, it's not your fault. Like,
so you became like Bret Hart carrying around the bag of rocks. You just put it down.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, it was like devil's advocate. You say guilt. It's like a bag of fucking bricks. All you got to do, set it down. How are you carrying all those bricks for anyway? Donuts?
Donuts?
Is that it? Let me give you a little inside information about donuts.
They're tasty. Let me tell you, they're real tasty.
Donuts don't give a shit.
They might make you shit, but they don't give a shit.
Freaking love that. Anyways, so yeah, so now that saga is officially over, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And for those wondering, actually, I have a job interview this coming Tuesday, and I also have my resume in at another place. So yes, I am looking for another job, and you know, if I get one soon, that's going to be great.
Absolutely, man. I tried to get you in at my place, didn't pan out, but
yeah, it didn't pan out. But you know what?
tried.
I got two interviews. I got 2 interviews in on it, so I was like, all right, you know, I at least kind of made it far enough.
Yeah. I have a feeling that, like you said, the fact that you're in Rhode Island is probably the kicker there. But
yeah, which
I don't know. I was still surprised nonetheless, and a little bit like I was definitely bummed by it because I really wanted it to work out for you.
Yeah, I did too, but you know.
But we tried, man. We tried.
C'est la vie, mon ami.
La vie.
The fuck did you just say to me?
The life, technically.
C'est la vie. Yeah, so I mean that saga is now put to bed.
One chapter closed, another one opening, sir.
Yeah, because I mean, just it's almost like did you see Punk's promo when he came back to AEW the first time?
Yeah.
I was like, man, just like that one line of I was never going to get better physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually staying at the same place that made me sick. And I'm like, shit, that was true for AAA, and that's true for right here. Shit, like I'm never going to get better if I just keep staying here, because like they're encouraging me to come in sick. They're encouraging me to come in hurt.
Right.
Which in a way kind of pissed me off, because, you know, there was one guy who was out because of a foot injury. Like he was wearing a boot. And like he was one of those guys like, you know, I can still work. He's like, I can still make donuts on the bench or whatnot. I can still, you know, I can still clean things. But like he wasn't operating at like 100%. He's like, no, I told him, you know, stay home until you're 100%. That's it. Like I don't need somebody working at like half capacity here. I'm like, okay. But he can still, like, you're not going to, he's hurt and you're not going to encourage him to come into work. Like, what changed here?
Yeah, really.
It's like I had talked about like how bad my fucking back is in past episodes here, and like I've even told my bosses about it. Like, look, my back is just in a lot of fucking pain right now, and like I'm kind of getting sick and tired of just taking, you know, like Advil or Aleve or whatnot, and going home and icing it, or, you know, putting heat on it or whatever the fuck have you, because like this is fucking ridiculous.
Right.
You know, and like. I'll tell you this story too. Fucking, so I'm training one of the guys. We need to make like that the honey glaze for like glazed donuts and whatnot. So one of the guys was asking, you know, what does that entail? So I'm kind of going over it and whatnot, and like the boss is nearby, and I'm like, dude, this is the one thing, like putting this stuff in the container and the table and whatnot. Like that is something you never do by yourself, because, you know, the bowl itself is like 35 pounds. There's 100 pounds of sugar in there. That's like 6 gallons of water is in, more than 6 gallons of water. There's like a coffee, like it's disgusting in the sense that it was a rusted out coffee can that you're putting honey glaze in, and then pouring that in there, and then pouring water in that, and then pouring that in there. And I'm like, wow, I'm surprised the health office hasn't picked up on that shit.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, but I'm telling them like, look, so it's this thing is going to be really, really heavy. You never ever do it by yourself. And the boss like immediately chimes in, oh no. Let me tell you something. This is something you can do by yourself. Just bring it over there and just bring like a scoop and just kind of scoop it in there until it's like a little bit left in there, and then you just kind of scrape the rest of it in there. I'm like, so you're just going to undermine like everything I just told this guy from everything that you've taught me here, because, well, that's the new Alley's way, or whatever.
The new Alley's way.
Yeah. That's the new way. So we're not. He's like, because he's like, well, I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody to be happy around here. And I was like, I can't. I'm tired of this. It's like you've asked me to come in here and train people. Every time I'm trying to train them on something, oh no, you're doing that wrong. Come here. You know, just he starts fucking going to town on everything. I'm like, why the fuck am I even here? Yeah,
really. If you're asking my opinion and then immediately going against it, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, dude.
It's beyond ridiculous, man.
It just totally, like, cuts your balls off, basically.
They cut off my Johnson.
Your what?
Yep.
But hey, man, I wrote a little parody song for you.
Uh-oh.
You want to hear it?
I have a feeling like, much like, you know, working at the donut shop, I'm not going to have any fucking say in this.
You're darn right you're not. This is going to be a hit, I swear. You're going to love it.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
I even got my guitar, which you might not be able to hear, but we'll see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes.
Can you hear that?
No.
Oh, shit. All right, let me grab the other guitar. Hang on.
You have an amp.
This is going well so far.
Oh, good God. We got dead air. Got dead air. There he comes. There he's back with the geet talk.
Back with a different geet. All right, can you hear this? Hang on. Ooh, it's out of tune. But can you hear it?
No.
No?
No.
Well, crap. We're gonna try it anyway. Screw it.
Your bit's gone off the fucking rails here. No one to rein it in.
Can you hear that?
No.
No. How can you hear that? It's picking it up on the mic. Really? You seriously can't?
No.
Well, what the? I just drooled on my guitar.
By the way, everybody, Bruce is available for guitar lessons.
Oh man! All right, screw it. We're gonna try it anyway.
Oh,
Hang on a second.
boy.
Let me get this out of here because I accidentally opened a program. Okay, it's short, and I think you'll recognize the tune. But okay, here we go. I never practiced this, by the way, either, so this could be a real train wreck. But here we go.
This is already a train wreck.
He's a good guy, living in Rhode Island. He worked radio and Home Depot too, then AAA and Stanley Steamer. He made donuts till they drove him nuts. Now he's free. Free from alleys.
This is such a train wreck right now.
Now he's free.
This is such a train wreck.
Free from alleys. Okay, yeah, something like that. It's supposed to be free falling, but I kind of screwed up the lyrics there to the chorus. But yeah. Free from alleys,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Hire me. I'll teach you how to be subpar at parodies too.
Yeah. We're also going to get a copyright strike for that, obviously.
No, it's a parody.
Yeah, it's a parody, but I mean, how many parodies have also gotten taken down because of fucking copyrights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube can.
Yeah.
YouTube can
That's
screw
what I
it.
thought. That's what I thought.
That was for you, Andy.
Well, I couldn't hear it, but thank you very much.
You couldn't even hear me singing?
I could hear you. You were kind of coming in and out, though.
Oh! What a piece of crap. The lyrics were, he's a good guy, lives in Rhode Island. I got rid of it. Crap. It was like,
Don't worry.
yeah, whatever.
Don't worry. We'll talk about that in private.
All
Anyways. But yeah, we were talking off the air a little bit. You said you had a funny story.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We should probably end with this to lighthearted, funny story. But yeah. So apparently I call this story "The Tale of Two Neighbors" with a bit of orgasm thrown in. So
I was gonna say, you gonna do like a John Kaiser impression here, like
no.
welcome, cities.
No. So okay, so I have this this neighbor Arthur who lives on one side of us, and then the place on the other side of us has kind of changed hands a few times over the years. But Arthur, one dude next door, he's awesome. He actually welcomed us like when we first moved in and everything. It's like the only time that a neighbor actually welcomed us anywhere. So he's a cool dude, and he caught me in the hallway the other day, and he's like, "Hey, I got to pull you aside here." And I was like, "All right, what's up?" And he was like, "Hey, did you sleep all right last night?" And I was like, "Yeah." Why? And he was like, well, you know me, I don't like to ruffle feathers or anything like that, but the new neighbors are being pretty loud at like 1 or 1:30 in the morning or whatever, and I almost called the cops on them, but eventually someone came by and told them to quiet down. I was like, oh wow, no kidding, no, I didn't hear anything like that. He's like, yeah, it must just be like how our apartments are set up or something. I was like, yeah, probably, and I was gonna tell him this other story that happened earlier that day, but then I didn't. But the funny story is this. So there was that, but I almost wanted to be like, oh yeah, well at like 6 in the morning, I was trying to do my morning prayer, and then all of a sudden next door I just hear, like all these like groaning female noises. Apparently, someone was having a real good time next door, and I don't know if it was a solo adventure or a multi-person situation, but yeah, someone was totally getting their groove on, and I'm sitting there like, Lord, open our lips and our mouth will proclaim your praise, and it was just like. The juxtaposition was very interesting, to say the least. I was saying, oh, God, for one reason, and they were saying, oh, God, for a completely different reason.
I was going to say, you're just hearing like, oh, Jesus, fuck me. And you're like, is that another service you offer? Like, I've been out of the loop for a while.
So yeah, I was like, okay, fair enough. Good for you, I guess. But it was really interesting.
We're each on our knees for different reasons.
Yeah.
Here.
Very thin walls, apparently, is what I'm getting at here. Very thin walls.
I thought you should be like just pound on the wall, like, y'all need Jesus over there.
They're like, we found him. Oh man.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I wanted to tell my neighbor, like, no, I didn't hear any like loud noise, but I did hear them having sex.
Does that count?
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting introduction for both me and Arthur to our new neighbors. Is, you know, he got woken up at 1 a.m. and I heard them having sex.
Interesting. I'll tell you what, man. I actually got a good laugh. Not to like take away from yours here. I got a good laugh because I was watching DC Fandom a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool. Like they had one panel that was like it was the 20th anniversary. I think it was yesterday. Like we're recording this on October 17th. So yesterday was the 20th anniversary of the first premiere of Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching that. It was, you know, Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum just like shooting the shit with each other, and, you know, another moderator and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
They showed another trailer for the upcoming Rob Pattinson movie, The Batman.
Oh, I was gonna ask you what you thought about that because I've heard a lot about it.
So I'll send you this picture here, and like I'll ask you the same question I kind of had for myself here. So
I saw what you posted online about this.
Yeah, I was like, all right, so when did the Riddler get replaced by the Green Bastard from Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, boy, it's the fucking Batman.
Oh man.
Like,
what did you ultimately think though? Like, did you think it looked good or no?
I thought it looked okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I've heard some people being like, "Oh, this is gonna be terrible."
I'm still not quite sold on Rob Pattinson being, you know, Bruce Wayne, Batman, whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's one of those things. Like I've been proven wrong in the past. Like I didn't think Heath Ledger was going to be a good Joker, and well, motherfucker won an Oscar for it.
Right.
And, you know, deservingly so. But yeah, I saw that. I saw the teaser for the new Shazam movie that's coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the teaser they did for the new Rock movie, Black Adam.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I was watching those. I was like, shit, man, this is fucking cool as fuck. I like this, man. Like Black Adam looks interesting. And it's kind of cool. Like they, like I didn't know, but Pierce Brosnan was actually cast. He's going to be playing Dr. Fate. And I'm like, fuck yeah, they're bringing Dr. Fate into this? Fuck yeah, dude.
See, I have no idea who these people are.
I'm a little disappointed in you, Bruce. That's kind of what I love about you too. It's like I get excited over the stupidest shit. Like, dude, they're gonna have Dr. Fate in a movie, and you're just like, so
what's a Dr. Fate?
Like, so did you see this movie where it was essentially like an hour and a half of Mike Myers getting the shit kicked out of him? It's almost like, dude, when I got it's kind of like almost like when I got back from vacation, like my mom sees the fucking lightsaber kind of like slinged over me. She's like, "Oh, let me see it." I turn it up, makes all the noise, I'm moving it around. I'm like, "This is so cool." And she's like, "You paid $220 for a fucking flashlight that makes noise." I'm like, could you take the piss out of anything else in my life too? Like, I saved up for this, damn it. I'm going to enjoy it.
So I don't know what the hell happened, but like my entire monitor is now black. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to stop this. Jane, stop this crazy. You can still hear me though, right?
Oh yeah, I can still hear you.
All right, good. I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I can still hear you. I don't want to, but I'll put up with it.
What's up? What? Sorry, I was trying to fix it.
I love you for that.
So
Moving on.
I'll have to go back and watch the replay.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I think we'll end it on that. Bruce, you got anything to plug, man? Like, where can people reach you if they want guitar lessons?
You can you just email me at bgguitar@outlook.com. I do have a website, but I don't really use it or update it anymore. So yeah, the best way to get me is by email. Send me an email, let me know. Although I am kind of like booked up right now, so I could try to fit it in. I mean, Fridays are going to be fairly open for me, so yeah, hit me up if you're interested.
Yeah, but it's also like, you know, you can at least reach out to Bruce, see when he's available. If it works for your schedule, great. If not, you know, Bruce, I'm sure you know other people that can like teach guitar or whatever
totally.
the fuck you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't hurt to reach out and to ask.
Certainly.
I love you for that. All right, yeah, I got nothing to plug, but hey, just go check out DC Fandom. Go check out all the cool trailers that they dropped out, like video games, movies. It's pretty freaking cool, man. So check that shit out. And we will catch you guys not next week, but the week afterwards, because Bruce is going to be fucking partying his ass off.
Actually, you know what? I might not be around the week after that either. We'll have to see what happens, but we'll see.
Oh, you bastard.
But at the very least, I won't be here next week because, yeah, I'm going to be with the family celebrating, so.
Yeah, which, you know what, man? That's fine, man. Well deserved.
Thank you, sir.
Like,
yeah, because I existed for another 365 days. You're right. I totally deserved it.
Well, you didn't die during those 365 days, so I guess you should celebrate it.
My grandfather used to play this song, this like country song about like celebrating how you survived another trip around the sun kind of thing. It was just really like tongue in cheek, like whoop-de-doo, you made it kind of thing. That was a happy birthday song. It was great.
Oh man,
happy birthday! Anyway. I'm probably gonna have to shut down this whole computer, so like our Skype call is gonna end too, right at the end of this thing. But whatever, man.
Whatever, man. It's all cool.
I know you gotta get to bowling anyway, right?
Yeah, I got bowling tonight, and that's gonna be cool. So, but yeah, before we go, just be cool to each other, and you know, care about other people's mental health, because nobody should ever ask you what you did to deserve a vacation. Nobody should ever say, I'm sure you deserve a vacation or you deserve time off for yourself. Nobody should ever have the right to say that to you.
And if they do, kick him in the hiney.
Oh, kick them in the dick. If they don't have a dick, fucking just, I don't know, pull out some intestines in replace of said genitalia and just kick. Kick away.
Kick away. Just kick away.
Kick away. That's going to do it for us, everybody. So we'll catch you, well, not next week, but hopefully the week after. If not, be cool to each other, and we'll catch you on the flip side.